We also have Biden introducing his $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. Now,
there we go, Biden.
Well, shout out to Biden for introducing some sort of legislation just to let it be known that we need to go ahead and move on this. I do like that. We need more relief. The people need more relief. And I think that this is a good step forward. Now, I'm going to break it down a little bit because I know 1.9 trillion, really big number. Where's the money going?
Exactly. Well, we're going to tell you where it's going and how it's going to be broken down.
We're going to give you a breakdown. First off, we're going to start with the first $400 billion is going to be obviously applied to COVID specifically. I actually want to look at the divots of how they broke that down, because it looks like out of the $400 billion, $20 billion is going to specifically the vaccine program. We have $50 billion going to just testing and making sure that we can expand with our testing capabilities. $30 billion is going to supplies and protective gear, PPE. Yeah, PPE, making sure we have everything we need to
personal protective equipment,
maintain cleanliness. Thank you, Ms. RN. There we go. And then 170 billion of that 400 is going straight to K through 12 and collegiate schools. And so I'm hoping that.
Wait, is that just like the first part of the plan?
That's just the first four of the COVID-19 relief bill.
Okay, the COVID-19.
170 billion of that is going to schools.
Okay, they definitely need to do that.
More so, I think it's more so to keep the schools open than it is to actually help some of these kids get rid of these student loans. But we still gonna continue to press for that. And
for real, that COVID relief should add in canceling that student loan debt for real.
Oh,
that would be some COVID relief.
Hey, hopefully we see it.
I'm not kidding, but for real though.
But everybody's saying, yeah, I hear all of that, what y'all doing for the vaccine and what y'all doing for the testing and what y'all are doing for, the medical industry. But what are we getting? What are we getting? They were proposing the $2,000 refund checks.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell said no. We end up with the $600.
Yeah.
So here comes
Damn
Biden.
Mitch McConnell.
Here comes Biden with the 1.9 trillion saying we're gonna give you guys another 1,400. We're gonna make it that 2,000 for you guys on this particular plan. So it does include $1,400 direct checks to all personal individuals to try to make it the 2,000. Of course, we do have some senators like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She did speak out and say...
She wants us to have 2,000.
And for those that don't know her, that is a Democrat out of New York on the Judiciary Committee. She did still propose that, forget the 1,400. We still need to go ahead and send them out $2,000 check. And I'm with her.
Yeah.
I'm with her on that.
My thing is, everything they're saying is all good now, but my thing is... when? That's the big question. Yeah. All this money is being thrown around and talk is being thrown around, but no actual dates, okay?
Yeah.
We need dates.
We do need dates. I'm gonna get to that in a minute because I want to.
The brainstorming of ideas.
No, definitely, and I want to speak on that as well. But hold on, let me. I'm gonna finish giving y'all this rundown. So the 1,400 for all individuals. If you are on unemployment, you will get an extra 400 added on to whatever you're already getting through the month of September. So that will add a little bit more back to unemployment. You're also getting $30 billion attributed to rental assistance, helping people maintain their places of business and or living is always a plus. So we adding $30 billion for that. And here's what I didn't know: Joe Biden is wanting to rise the minimum wage up to $15 an hour. Now
that's great.
I was thinking that it was $7.50 currently. Am I wrong about that? Is it no longer $7.50?
I thought minimum wage was like $10 for like.
No, how much is $8.25?
Oh, $8.25.
How? Like that? I think that was like back when I used to work in high school. There's no way it's still that. I think it's $10. I think it's $10.
No, it's definitely not double digits. It's not double digits yet. They are not.
I'm gonna look it up for you, but it's still not 10.
Yes, y'all. And if y'all have any
I could have
info,
sworn they raised it. Like, that's crazy.
You would have thought so.
I don't understand how people can.
You would have thought so.
Yeah.
But you know, $15
Thank you,
an hour.
Biden, though.
I think that does a lot, and obviously it's going to cause people to raise their prices on things. But hopefully, you know, even the people that are on minimum wage are getting raises as well. So we want to see everyone getting more money so we can start, you know, doing our thing. But last but certainly not least, we do have the last $440 billion attributed to strictly states, businesses, and the etc. So we have 350. Looks like 350 billion rather to state and local governments to do with, well, that'll be on us, right? Because we got to push our local representatives to do what we need done. They got money to do it now, so that's really on us to push them to get some things done locally. But 50 billion rather is allocated to small business grants and loans. So that's where we and all others get in. Anybody that got a small business going down, they are administering more PPP loans up to 50 billion, specifically for small business. And I did look this up. You can actually start applying on Tuesday for that. So all of my young business builders out there, definitely don't be late on that. And then the last 20 billion is going to be attributed to public transit. So
that's a pretty nice breakdown.
I mean, just so y'all get an idea, I know they're going to throw that 1.9 trillion around because it sounds real good.
Yeah, and then you start really figuring out how it's going to be divvied up.
Everybody wants to know where the money is going.
Yeah, and when it's coming. That's my main thing.
And when it's coming. No, the only president's being impeached twice. I mean, I think that, you know, me personally, I didn't understand why it was important to do so this late in his term. Like, he's getting ready to leave office anyway. And I was advised that it's not about the fact that he was about to leave, but it was about history looking back showing that, you know, this man was impeached and had to move out of office due to his actions. So it wasn't just about, well, his term was almost over anyway. It's more about signifying that this is what this man has done is worth, you know, him getting pushed out as opposed to being allowed to just kind of waltz on out like he wants to do, you know, on Air Force One or however, you know, presidents get out. So
you ain't getting out that easy, Trump.
So you know, I think that
we have a criminal as a president.
We shall see. What I will say is, not only is this, you know, plan throwing money around, there's also tax credits in the plan that may allow some of us to get some money back. So let me run down a little bit of that, because they do have the child and dependent tax credit, which I know a lot of us and our children, we spend, you know how much bread kids can be. You know, I hear a lot of my brothers and sisters talking about make sure you're ready, and they ain't talking about mentally. They're talking about financially and everything that come with that.
Yeah, I think they're talking about mentally too, though, because it's a lot.
Yeah, but they are speaking of raising the child and dependent tax credit up to $4,000 per child for children 13 and under. Now, currently, it is at what, $1,050? No. It's at $2,000 right now. $2,100 for 13 and under. So that's going to allow almost, you know, pretty much another $2,000 per kid on those tax credits. As far as 2 or more, it would be $8,000 as the total of a tax credit. Now they do already currently, or they're trying to rise it to $3,000 for kids under 17. So, and if you're under 6, even a potential $3,600 tax credit. So this is, you know, quite a bit of money that people have the potential to get back, because this tax credit used to, or is currently not refundable. So this isn't something that people were getting back on, you know, come tax season. You know, Joe Biden wants to make it completely refundable. I think it's a good move. I think it's going to help a lot of our brothers and sisters that do have a lot of children to kind of, you know, put them in the best position to win. And so I do commend him, give him a hand clap for that. He wants to make this credit available for the elderly. Now that's a move. We don't think about that. We're pretty young, but currently there's a 65-year cap on a lot of these tax credits that a lot of our elders are getting. So they, you know, they don't want to give you the money at a certain age in your youth. They also don't want to give it to you once you get over a certain age. So So we trying to, eliminate all of those, what do you call them, loopholes, so that we can kind of, get onto the bag like we trying to do. And straight like that, we right back like we never left. This is the Mouth of the South. I am your host, St. LeMoor, man. Kicking it with me. How you feel?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Feeling good, really good. And the reason why is love is in the air. Is it not?
Yes, love is definitely in the air.
Through the pandemic and all, we are still thriving. My brothers and sisters is getting together. And so I just want to...
I feel like everyone is getting together. This is a period in my life where a lot of people that I know are like more so finding their happiness and, finally getting to a place of love, even in their separate relationships and whatnot. And it's just great because it's so much better like being happy when everyone else around you is just as happy. So it's like you can actually feel and not feel bad to be so happy. Like, you know how sometimes when you're happy, like your really close friend isn't happy, you're going through something, and it's hard to share your happiness like with her because it feels like you're just like, bragging about it. But when everyone else is happy, you can just all enjoy each other's happiness. That's how I feel is going on, in my life personally. And
that is another thing. I mean, it is about that
time. A lot of black
time.
love especially is going around. And that's something I love to see. When I speak on black love, I mean more than just, the romantic version. I'm talking about loving your own history, your culture, the skin you're in.
Well, that's what I want to...
Community and your love within, like, your families.
Yeah, no, that's where I was going to go with it, because I wanted to really highlight, not just black love and how beautiful it is, but why it is so important. You were talking about history. You were talking about loving oneself. But do elaborate on that a little bit more. I know you have a couple
I feel like black people,
I
feel like black people constantly have to, deal with the negativity and that comes with just being black alone, So when it comes to, like, black love, that's, like, a whole different thing. Like, unfortunately, the stigma that society has made us believe that it's impossible, or it's, like, almost like when it's always shown in society, it's always has a negative connotation. Like, there's the single mom or the baby daddy that doesn't want to stay and raise his kids, and that's not really how it is, and that's all we usually see on TV. And it's become so ingrained in so many of our minds, even black people specifically too, that the negative message that they're receiving about themselves and others like them, like, it's pretty much like how coons are created. That's
I didn't see you going there.
No, that's true though, and it's the ones who believe
how
the negative...
coons are created.
Yeah, those are the ones that really believe the negative things that they see on TV and the society brings on when it comes to black people, That's me personally. But to me, black love is phenomenal. It's powerful, it's special, it's magical.
It does start at home. Everything that we want to do as a people, everything as a culture, it starts at home. And I think that black love does focus on self-love. Essentially, that's the biggest thing for me. I think that, in order for us to, know that we are of value is to value each other. Point blank period. I think that, it does hurt to see sometimes when we veer away from our own people because of the, whatever we may be fed up or, just tired or really, I look at it like, people are just giving up on themselves. That's how I look at it because.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that you look at it like people give up on themselves, like?
Because when they say.
When they date outside of.
Well, when they say that they don't want to date inside of, like when I see brothers or sisters specifically saying I don't want to date black people, that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
More so
because they say it's like difficult or it's like hard.
And it's just a quitting mentality. It's a self-hate mentality, and a lot of those people may say, well, I don't hate this person, I don't hate my people, but when you make those conscious decisions to say I'm not gonna date inside my race, I mean, how else am I supposed to interpret that?
Yeah.
You know, you just sick and tired of, you know, I just feel like there is more, you know, for us to do. And not only between each other, just the relationship between a man and his girl, girl and her man, but the children, how they look at the unions in their communities. You know, what does it say to the black child that has never known his mother and father to be together? What does it say to the black child to have his, you know, never known his father, or maybe even remembered his father leaving, you know what I mean? Or all of the situations that happened, like you said, you know, upset baby moms, kids seeing their mothers lashing out on their husbands, going home talking bad about who, you know, that child's parents, you know what I mean? So I just think that, you know, we all want to talk about the healing that has to, that needs to happen within our community. That healing comes from black love.
Yeah. The statistics show black couples have all the odds against them, just straight up, from society, from the past, generational trauma, just, you know, from how, you know, systematic racism has made it so everything is a struggle, you know? So the statistics show that black couples already have all the odds against them. We know what they are. We know what they've done to black homes and what they've done to break down black men. This bond creates something worth telling. Sticking together through those tough times and holding your love strong is what makes it so special. Your love reflecting respect, pride, and strength and courage changes the course of all the odds that are set to destroy us. That was one of the reasons why black love to me was so special, because like you guys are already like breaking through the odds, and you know, because the statistics are set against us, you know.
And I want to pause you right there, because I want to just take a moment there to ask the question, why? Why are the odds against black love?
Well, that goes back. Okay.
I mean, I just want to know why you would say that personally. You said that the odds are against, you know, black love and black couples. But why is that? Why do you think that?
Well, you're making history every time you stand hand in hand, because back then, men couldn't take care of their wives, and the wives couldn't display their affection publicly. You know, like in slavery, the black woman watched the black man get beat by the master. That broke down a sense of respect that the black woman had for the black man, and that also broke that type of trauma, and just seeing that broke down the black woman and the black man. And that was what I said when you're making a statement. The root of it, you know.
I got you.
It dates all the way back to slavery.
Yeah. Well, even now in today's time, do you think that there is a certain group of black women that do still look at the black man in that same sort of weak position as he used to be back then? Like, do you think black women still look at some black men like that? Because I think that's what it was personally.
I feel like they're starting. I do believe that. I do believe that. But I feel like now today, since there's so many people embracing it, and it's so much more like prevalent on social media, and you just start seeing black love more expressed in a positive light, that it's starting to change that type of mindset that yes, some females definitely used to hold, because of what I said, you know, the traumas that we had for generations.
Me personally, I feel like there was a loss of respect, and it may not have been you know, much we could do about that at the time. I mean, I know some of us that retaliated ended up getting killed, and it was what it was. We went out like soldiers.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the majority, people they didn't want to die. And so, you know, I think that it really did a number for the black woman to see the black man compromising himself. And that lack of respect kind of grew from that. I did want to take a moment. Go ahead.
You wanted to say like where it really came from. Like black love literally should not exist in America. It's like the highest form, and I mean the highest form of opposition and resistance.
Should not exist.
Yeah, it's like the highest form of opposition and resistance. Everything in history has been done to prevent it. Families being separated, marriages forbidden, the women raped and forced to bear their master's children. White supremacy tried everything in its power to kill black love, but they were wrong, and it only made black love stronger, as we see today. So when I say I only want black love, it's that's primarily where it comes from. Like, I just want to prove everyone wrong on that when it comes to that.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, it's a statement.
No, and I think that we need to. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of game, because I know that it is an area that we need to grow in and increase in. I feel personally, just looking at a few stats from blackdemographics.com. Shout out to Black Demographics for making this chart up for us. But it says that in 2016, only 29% of African Americans were married, compared to the total of 48%. Compared to the 48% of just all Americans, were married, but only 29 in our community. So you see that 20% difference. Also, half, or about 50% of African Americans had never even been married. And this is 2016, so obviously the stats have updated, and we'll get those for 2020. But it's just saying a lot here. I mean, even in 2016, seeing as how just under half, or about 48% of black women had never been married, which is actually higher than it was in 2008, when 44% of black women had never been married. And so I just think that there is a severe lack of love. I mean, we see it, but here are stats showing it as well, seeing as how, even though half the country hasn't been married, only 30% of us have ever been married. You know what I mean? So I think that, we got some work to do. It's very intriguing.
I personally, I always, growing up, it was like, of course you wanna marry a black man. I feel like that's just how I felt. Like, oh my God, I just want to marry a beautiful chocolate man and just have my family. And as I was growing up, I definitely grew up in a society where that was kind of like negatively seen. I didn't see too much positive stuff about it. I mean, my parents were definitely happily married, but I always felt like it was going to be a struggle to be with a black man, because what they go through in their own experiences in life. And I honestly really didn't want to deal with that, so I definitely swayed. I think that's probably why I definitely dated outside my race when I was younger. But as I got older, I think it was Michelle and Brock who really did it for me, though. When I saw them, especially on Inauguration Day, I was like, wow, that was just a sight to see. It was so beautiful. And listening how Obama spoke so highly of Michelle, and just hearing their love story and everything like that, I just seeing that, it was just like,
inspiring.
Wow, it was inspiring. And it made me feel like it was possible. And
I love that.
That was it for me, to be honest.
I think that it definitely did help. It helped us all to see that, not only as a black man as president, but to see him with a black woman. I think it really did do a lot for us. I mean, when I see these numbers of like how 52% of black men have never been married, 48% of black women have never been married, I mean, this is a problem.
Those are staggering numbers.
This is a problem. Now, when it comes to us getting married, our divorce numbers are actually relatively low. So I think that goes to show that, when we do decide to take that leap,
yes,
we tend to stay together, as only looks like only 10% of black men get divorced and only 13% of black women. So we still some of us are still getting divorced, but it is relatively low. I'm glad for that. Mm-hmm. At least our unions are strong. This is the Mouth of the South, powered by the Factory Radio. Be on the boards. I got Amanda in here with me.
So we're going to switch it up, and I'm going to ask my co-host exactly, as a black man, what makes it so black love is inspiring to you?
I think that familiarity has a degree of it, just because I grew up with black love. I grew up looking at my mom and dad. God bless, they're still together to this day. But that was my only example of love for the longest time. And so I think that when it came time for me to step out into the dating world, I always felt like I specifically am going to marry a black woman because she's the only woman who can identify with what I'm going through. And I think that, me personally, I got to be able to, release to my woman. I got to be able to, just kind of let it all out, because, us black men, we try to hold our trauma on our shoulders. We don't want to show it. We don't want to talk about it. But one person that I do want to confide in is my woman. And, when my woman isn't coming from where I'm coming from, I'm afraid that she will not be able to understand. And so that's really what it is. I've always loved, all women, but black women, I always knew, even since I was a young boy, that when it came time for me to walk down that aisle, that she was going to have to be a sister. And, I love them to death, but I just think that the strength that they have, the perseverance to find a way out of no way. The aptitude that black women are able to do, they're unmatched. And so that's just me being a humble black man. I'm able to say that I need that. So that's what really drew me to the black woman. Her strength, her perseverance, and her love. It was all I've ever known. So.
Okay. Those are great reasons, and I definitely I can match you on that, because though that's not exactly how I feel, because I'm a black woman, I'm the other way about it. So growing up, I saw how my dad loved my mom, and I always said I wanted to marry somebody else just like my dad, because my mom, me and mom are just like, we're both, we're a lot of people, we are opinionated, and we're strong in a sense. So like when it comes to like dealing with us, I watched how my dad just did it so gracefully, and like how he always showed love even when times were maybe harder to do so. But it was more so, I always also watched like what he went through and how he just handled it. Like he would never come home and show us that he had a bad day or something like went wrong. Like we would never know anything was wrong with my dad. But as I got older, things became more clear, because I'm just like, I'm not a kid anymore, and I can just see things and understand what's going on. But I admired my dad. That was, for me, when it came to a black man and how they should be and carry themselves, they were just so strong. And like, and when it came like I was like who I wanted to be with, I was like, I definitely know for sure that I need somebody that I will feel safe with. And I knew it could only be a black man, based on my.
Well, talk about that a little bit, because I think that is actually very.
Because black men go through so many things, and.
But what makes you because you said that you talked about a black man's strength in a sense, and we don't hear that. Because what was the word you specifically used? Because I feel like you didn't say strength, but what you were trying to get at was that that kind of made you, I believe you said, protected.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something we don't hear enough, because I guess because of slavery or whatever.
When it came to
they don't feel protected by black men.
And I feel like that's another thing, So I knew a black woman was gonna make me feel protected, but I also had that nurturing sense that I also want to protect my black man. Like it was like I just want to show him the love that he can't get from society, that he doesn't get from society, but he will know he'll for sure always get that with me and in the house. I really aspired to have that and seek that out. Not somebody that I needed to fix or anything like that. I just more so like somebody that I knew that we both could create that space of like protection that we both need when we come home after dealing with the world. And I knew I could only experience that with a black man. That's just, I'm not saying that any other love is not as genuine or as pure, but I definitely know it's not as unique as black love, because it's just been trashed on and made so hard, and the difficulties that we just go through is just made it so it's special. Yeah.
One thing I do want to say about black love is that just looking at what has happened to us, and when I say us, I mean our people, our ancestors, those that came before us, is I do feel like black love is a reaction.
It is.
Because, you know, one thing that others may say is, well, you know, why are they trying to single themselves out, or why are they just saying this is just black love? And I think that what I want to say is black love is something that we came up with in order to, because we were not seeing love shown
Exactly.
by any other culture or platform.
I understand when it came to the dynamic of the black man and how, you know, they like to keep things in and think they just have to conquer everything on their own, so they don't like being vulnerable. And but I feel like vulnerability is strength, and I definitely told myself I was going to be with a man that could communicate and actually speak on everything that he felt, and when we're having issues, to be able to talk through it and like not drag it on to the next day, because that's something that I was really I held dear to me, somebody who can communicate, and that's something I sought out in my relationship.
Yeah, and I know that you said, you know, making sure I have someone I can talk to. It just made me think of a question of, because you have, you know, you have dated outside of your race a little bit. I wanted to ask you, did you ever have issues communicating with those outside of your race?
Oh, of course.
As opposed to, you know.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I know almost, really.
Even since being young, you know, right? I mean, I would assume so. That's what I say, because even when, you know, kids become adults and they have that issue, I think that it's a lot worse. But I do think that that is an example, just to kind of,
when it came to, like, you know,
show
entitlement, and like it was just like it's not the same. You know, how we were raised, it was never the same. Like we can be both raised middle class and that type of stuff, but when it came down to how your parents like disciplined you or like spoke to you or like a respect type thing, it was different. I
got you. Yeah, I mean, definitely different, definitely something to get used to.
You just weren't on the same page with like a lot of things that you just felt like, I don't know, I started realizing though that the things that became important to me, I needed to be on the same page with my partner about.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get that when I was dating outside my relationship. You know, outside of my race, to be honest. And that's probably why those ones didn't last. But you're young, you live and you grow. You get older.
Yeah, man, and I'm just, you know, poking questions at that, because I love that. I mean, you made it a conscious effort to say I'm going to love on my black man, and as a black man, you know, I'm sure B can agree.
Because I mean, there was a point when I definitely gave up on the black man too, though. Growing up, like middle school and like, you know, and like high school, like I feel like they just weren't mature or ready. So I went to that's probably when I went outside. I mean, that's definitely when I was dating outside my race. But it was because, I mean, back then, you know, the guys that just were like all over you, like, oh my God, obsessed with you, were definitely, you know,
not black.
You know, I'm telling you, that's just how it was. And then like you got older, like probably like high school is when definitely it started like changing for me. And then I moved to Virginia when I was surrounded by a lot more black people per se.
Black folk.
Yeah, and it was like, wow, this is just beautiful. The culture was around. It felt like that. So I definitely grew a love for black men, and I definitely started seeing them in a different light.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I just want to take a moment, because I know that, you know, me and my brothers sometimes have a issue with vulnerability. You were talking about viewing vulnerability as strength, and I think that not enough black men look at it like that. I think that there is still a fear amongst black men to not appear soft, or not appear weak, and a lot of that does stem from the post-traumatic slave syndrome of just what we had to go through, not wanting to ever be compromised in front of our women or woman, and sometimes that will cause us to run away from our women, And so we have black men that'll run away into other women that are giving them that praise that people outside of the race tend to give you, just due to unfamiliarity, to be quite frank. But I think that some of us are still not wanting to, we don't understand. We're so unwilling to, appear weak that we don't even want to accept tough love. And I think that, when it comes to black women, that's exactly what you're going to get. She going to love you, but she going to let you know some things, that you might not want to hear. You might, you know what I'm saying? And black men don't like being told to tighten up. You know what I mean? Like, their first thing is, who are you? But when
all I know is a black woman is going to tell you exactly straight up what's on her mind.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, I don't want any of our black.
Some people can't handle that though.
Veering away from it. We gotta get strong. Yeah. We talk about wanting to be strong and all of these.
I never understood. Since we're gonna talk about that though, I really never understood growing up why black men were scared of strong women, or just women who just like spoke their mind and you like you said about I don't want all that that type of stuff. But you were raised by a black woman, okay, a black mom. Whether I just don't understand where that it became that you didn't want anything that was like who your mother or your sisters were.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that because that's all you knew, and it's.
Yeah, I mean that all depends on environmental things as well. That's
the environment.
Yeah.
Be saying it's the environment.
I do think that.
So it's the nurture.
Yeah.
And some of it is just like you say, when we get a taste of something that is outside of our circle.
Right.
I think that it can be enticing sometimes because it's like, this is, think about how much black men brag about being with a foreign, you know what I'm saying, or having a foreign, you know what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we really pride ourselves on going outside of what we all know. And
then it goes back to what do you need?
Yeah. Well, need want.
Yeah. So a black man really needs a woman that can carry all that baggage that they come with. It's not even like I'm saying. You say you hear baggage and you think it's like negative, but it's like at the same time it is a lot because what black men carry as well as what black women carry is a lot. And when they come together to share that, especially those type of traumas, and they can express a positive love in that, it's beautiful. And
I mean, and I don't think that it's black men so much having an issue of being with strong women or powerful women, but I do think that there is some ego bruising going on.
Yes.
So we have black men that are already bruised, from however they came up the environment.
And so they feel like being with a black woman will make it like they have to be submissive in a sense.
Well, with a strong and some black men don't look at it as humility. They don't look at it as
or why is she strong?
They look at it as I'm not bowing down to nobody. It's an ego thing.
But why don't they look at it as it why is she strong? Or why is she so have this exterior that
Yeah, I don't
comes off as not wanting to be loved or soft.
Yeah.
That also goes back to because black women they feel like they have to keep that type of hard shell on the outside because of how society comes at them. They're okay, they're already loud, they're already this, they're already that, and that.
Yeah. Well, I do think that has the degree because I would say outside forces is what caused the black man to do what he's doing as well. I mean, I think about how angry the black man became due to what was happening to him in society, and that anger transferred over into how he was treating his woman. So you talk about all of the issues with us. We were just tired of having someone's foot on our neck, so we didn't want to come home and then catch the strong criticism that we was about to get from our girl, because we was just at work getting beat down by the manager, the boss dog, or whoever was running the show. So I think that the black man became overwhelmed by criticism on top of whatever was actually happening to him in the streets. But and I do think on the flip side of that, you can answer this for me, I think black women grew tired. They grew more fed up with dealing with the black man plight, trying to help the black man get up.
Yeah, and not receiving. Yeah, and it was more so like not receiving that type of love that they wanted and needed, because black women, they're always taught to, you know, help everyone else but themselves. You know, they give so much and they help everyone else. They do so much, but at the same time, they also want that same type of love received back. And they weren't getting that. And that's probably why some, you know, go outside of the race, and because, you know, white men love black women. Let's be honest. Like, they love them a black woman.
And,
so, and they praise them, you know.
Man.
And so that's the thing. But it's more of, I personally feel like it's more of an obsession than a love. I don't know.
That's actually intriguing.
It's like,
because what are they obsessed with?
The features, the curves, everything that comes with a black woman. I mean, we're magic, let's be honest. But anyways, so okay, but and and it's really just like the uniqueness. They're really intrigued to like everything that comes with a black woman, you know, and yeah. But it's weird how I realized that at a young age, that I knew guys that weren't black could see that, but guys that were black couldn't see that. Or maybe because they had sisters and moms, so they saw it every day. So when they saw it in like their peer, they were like,
what I was gonna say,
you know, like, you the homie. But when they saw like somebody who's outside the race, they're like, oh, maybe she could be like, you know, I don't know.
It was. I'm telling you, I would say that it is because of they look over you because they think they know you already. Like, they're so close to you. They're so close to black women. I live with black women.
There you go. That's a good perspective.
You know, and so, you know, I think that's a good analogy. I think that sometimes it's just like vision. You know, when something is too close to you, you just can't see it. You know, I think that we had to sit back and see what was happening to our black women on a national stage before black men said, you know what?
We gotta love them.
We gotta fix this. I mean, because I do think
we gotta start loving them like they love us.
I think that over time we started realizing that ultimately we caused this. Am I wrong, B? I mean, you can let me know.
I can't say you wrong.
You know, the anger from the white man expressed on the black woman, and that is where the deterioration kind of.
That's where it started. That's literally where it started.
That's where it started, and still to this day, the black man hates being disrespected. He ain't gonna be disrespected in front of nobody.
And it took me growing up to really understand that part of, you know, it's not really them being mad and angry and like wanting to
at y'all.
It's really,
it's more so
everything that happens to them, you know, and what they deal with every single day, that coming home to the place where they're supposed to feel like, you know, just loved, and like they can let loose all of that type of anger.
Say it again.
And they don't have that patience and love to give to their woman because it's been stripped and taken from them. So that's, it took me growing up to really understand where it came from and why it's like that. But then it comes to communication, and both of them being able to talk about that and actually release their pain with one another when they come home. That's pretty much it, you know?
Amen. I wanted to add on to that because I still want to make it a point, because we acknowledge that we have done wrong. We played a big role in bringing us where we currently are today when it comes to black marriage, black love, etc. And so now it's time for us to make the change. I mean, like I say, even, you know, we can take it off a physical aspect, and we can also say that it's our fault about the epidemic of women who started wanting to date women. Now I know that's a tough topic, but you know, even with the men wanting threesomes and all of that kind of stuff, that we ain't think it was gonna lead to that. But you know, lo and behold, I'm in college and girls are starting to pair with girls like it's just the trend. You know what I mean? But that also has something to do with how we were treating
coping mechanism though.
Yeah.
Another way of coping, like where they're not receiving it in the relationship, or where it's lacking, they're trying to find it from other sources, you know, when it comes to like, okay, it's not working with the black man.
Yeah.
And then you go to the woman.
It's not working with the white man. It's not working with Spanish, man. Let me just go on ahead. Well, damn it, fuck it.
Let me go see what the ladies. Somebody who's like-minded like me. I completely understand that.
Nah, yeah, but the goal is to just not give up. Black men, stand up. Black women, please be patient with us because we are on our way. We do not want you to do this on your own. You know, we are here to support y'all, and we can only hope that you still have it in you all to support us. Because it is not easy, and we know this, but we also know that we need each other, not just to survive, but to thrive.
Yes, we need that love. Yes, we need that love between one another and that understanding, and that it takes communication and both of us being vulnerable with one another